Hey guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being a music journalism site, links are in the description down below, and we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Alt J, and that's 3WW, or 3W, if you'd prefer it to be pronounced that way. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So Alt J are back with this brand new song written alongside the members of Wolf Alice, if I'm correct in hearing. I heard that online somewhere, so I'm hoping that's correct. See, I've always been a big fan of Alt J, and even when they went down that poppier route, I could still find lots of enjoyable moments scattered throughout their discography. However, experimental music is just at a massive new high right now, with the quality of acts in said genre really blowing me away on a daily basis at this point. So shall we see whether this track holds up to that form? Well, it's okay, and I totally understand what they were going for here, but it really didn't surprise me at any moment, and I found the song a little too subdued for me. In a way, they tried to use a very Doors-like sound whilst incorporating elements from the new Bon Iver album here and there, but unfortunately I hated that new Bon Iver album, and I think this track kind of follows it a little too closely. It's too disjointed, and there's no energy or development here either. Despite it having a very repetitive progression and rhythm, the song felt disconnected and lacked any propulsion to anything exciting. It just didn't have much momentum to it. I'm all for subdued and laid-back experimental tracks, but they have to have gorgeous textures or really innovative timbres and tones. But here the song just felt kind of bland, really. And to the Enemy, who released this song earlier, or rather talked about this song earlier, calling this song a prog song, you couldn't be more up your own backside thinking that this song is a prog song. It's just a by-the-barrel experimental track which is trying too hard, really. Production-wise, the track keeps an organic and raw feel while sounding professional and very artistic too, actually. I liked how a lot of character and personality was kept in the mix throughout the track, and I liked in particular how the guitars kept a very rustic and almost bluegrassy tone. That's actually trying something different, that's experimenting with something different, and it actually working. You're actually combining that with your music well. That's experimenting with something and it working, basically. I did have a problem though with the vocals, and I know that they were trying to go for this very natural and very untampered with approach, but it just sounded bad, if I'm honest, and unnecessary, massively unnecessary. This is experimenting for the heck of experimenting rather than actually trying to create something sounding nice. Everybody knows that this doesn't work. I only highlight individuality if it's worth showcasing, but those vocals have been recorded to sound like they're taking place in a bathroom. But guess what? I don't like vocals that sound like they're taking place in a bathroom. That's, you know, if I wanted to listen to that, then I'd just listen to some like 50p track by an independent group who, you know, didn't decide to go to a recording studio and try to do everything off a Mac at home. But, you know, that's just completely unnecessary for me. I liked when some of the pads were introduced, and there are some decent tones and timbres that were allowed to be fleshed out here, but I just found the mix just a little bit disjointed again. Unfortunately, that word is going to become quite the new theme when it comes to this review, that the whole track is just disjointed. Comes to the musicality of this track, I did enjoy that opening, and I also enjoyed the brooding atmosphere that was kept throughout this track, and I also appreciate the thought and creativity that has been injected into this track, and it sure does sound unique, and I cannot take that away from this track. But it's too out there, it's too vivid, and that's meant that the track never really felt fulfilling or direct, for that matter. It's like writing a novel on someone stubbing their toe. I mean, bravo for fleshing that out so much and being so creative with it, but at the end of the day, it would have done an equal job if you just told me that they stubbed their toe. I mean, why flesh needless things out? It makes it just seem pretentious, if I'm totally honest. The vocal performances are functional, the progressions are fine, but too repetitive. The clunky rhythm of the track is fine, but again, it's too repetitive. And I think that's the main issue here. It wants to be experimental and really different, but it sounds too repetitive and ploddy for that. It's like they came up with one idea and then just tried to expand it over 3 or 4 minutes, and yeah, Bob's your uncle, really. If you compare this to, say, the 8-minute track by Dirty Projectors called Up in Hudson, a track that was just released last month, there you can see how to truly flesh out an experimental concept whilst developing and progressing constantly as the song continues, adding different elements and different ideas all the time. This track just felt stagnant and dull. Lyrically, well, we don't really have enough lyrics here to actually dissect, so yeah, I guess that's a bit of a flop. The whole pretentious, hyper-philosophical, unusual, metaphorical type stuff, which was done badly enough by Bon Iver last year, seems to have leaked its way into this track, and I really hope Alt J don't go down this route, because I know they're trying to just make people interpret it in different ways, and I respect that, but this is just over the top, and it just sounds snobby and just unfollowable. It's just being like wild and I don't even know, just disjointed for the hell of sounding disjointed, and I just don't see the point of that, I'm afraid. So all in all, a massively underwhelming track that is boring, to be quite honest with you. I think people are going to look far too far into this track and will praise it over its substance, a substance of which, once you strip away that crap, is really nothing more than a couple of lines of notes and a couple syllables, really. I mean, there isn't actually much here. In the musicality and stuff, it's really not that complex, and like I said, it's not prog, okay? So I gave it a G rating of 5 out of 10, which is truly quite average, really. If you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.